Everyone, welcome to this special edition of What Went Down. I'm Craig, aka Mr. Impact blog from the TNAIW channel, and as you can see, I'm once again joined by the co-host of the Talking Nonsense about Impact Wrestling podcast. It's Geoff.
Hey, back again. I guess this is our show at this point, but
yeah, it's may as well be.
It's exciting to talk about it. Obviously, this is a different show, and we're going to try to keep it light so you guys can hopefully watch us before Emergence tonight. But I'm excited.
Yeah, so Emergence tonight in the US, tomorrow in the UK.
Right.
So wherever you're watching this, let's get into what's going down tonight.
What's going down, and then we're still doing what went down on Thursday.
Yeah. So we start off with a match that I'm not sure how it's going to go, but it should be interesting. Kylie Raves is Taya Valkyrie inside Russell House. I'm assuming
that was announced. Okay, so yeah, I'm not too familiar with what's happening on this episode compared to next. So with Taya and Kylie, I mean, we mentioned it last week, kind of that Russell House is what it is. We enjoy it for what it is. But the matches are matches, little matches that do serve a purpose and a point, and have a obvious reason for happening. But the quality is 1 to 2 minute matches, and it is what it is. So I hope, because we got Kylie and Rosemary, and that was a step above, I feel like. I'm hoping that they give this the opportunity to flourish and give the opportunity enough time to work it out, because the two wrestlers there, Kylie and Ty, are both excellent. So I hope that matchup isn't wasted on a 3-minute comedy show. But we'll see. We'll see what they do.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, there's no doubt Taya and Kylie can put on a great match in any circumstance. But with how Russell House has been perceived and how the matches have gone, it's questionable on whether it will be the match we're expecting between those two.
Right. So does that make you more or less excited, or just kind of in the middle?
Yeah, I'm excited for it because I know what those two are capable of.
That's fair. Yeah, it's even when you have that going against them, and I don't even know if it's going against them that they're in Wrestle House, because it's fun. But as far as the match itself, I hope we get pay-per-view quality match, and they're stars, so they'll shine through no matter what, just like Rosemary and Kylie did. But I'll say I'm hopefully optimistic. I'm hoping to be optimistic about it. And I hope we get a good match. And either way, it should be a good time, as Wrestle House always is. So.
Yeah, it's going to be a great match, no matter how it ends up.
Right.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. So then we move on to a triple threat for the X Division Championship. Chris Bay defending against Rohit Raju and TJP. How do you feel about this one?
Well, the lead to it, and I think must be the setup I missed with the Twitch feed, because I haven't been able to go back and watch it. And I'll do that actually right after the film. But I missed the setup on this. Is it basically that Rohit is his friend,
Yeah, basically Rohit went to Chris Bay and said that, hey, give us both a title match and I can help you take out TJP to keep your title. And Chris Bay isn't worried about him because he's beaten him before. So, yeah.
He's underestimating Rohit. Rohit's playing friend. I fully expect Chris Bay to win this. I think the Rohit thing, though, I'm not a fan of matches where there's this extra angle of, oh, we're friends, we're going to help. But wait, there's going to be a part where we run into each other in the match. And, it's always the same kind of philosophy when it comes to these kind of matches being put together. I hope that they just let these guys go out and do what they can do. I fully expect Chris Bay to retain. And if he doesn't, that's a shame. I think this is a way, hopefully, for them to get out of TJP looking bad if he loses, per se, because the odds are against him. But it should be interesting to see where Fallah Bob plays in this, or if he doesn't at all. If Rohit is going to stay friends, or he's just using this as a gotcha moment. It would just be a shame if that gotcha moment led to a loss. Like, I'd rather, if they're finally going to give Rohit that push, and he turns face, I guess, technically, and turns on, you kind of want him to win the match. But I don't want the title to change just yet. I don't know. Where are you at with it?
It's a match I've kind of gone back and forth on a little, but I agree in the sense that if this is the starting point for Rohit to eventually win the title, or at least do something that's going to make him stand out more,
right,
maybe he shouldn't. I think it'd be okay if he loses, but I think it'll hurt more if he eats the pin. But then you can't have TJP eat the pin.
Right.
And you can't have the champion lose. It's be interesting to see where they go with this one.
Are we on the same page that we think Bay will retain? Are we?
Yeah, I think he kind of has to.
I think the formula there is to protect Bay's reign, but not make people look bad. I think we can agree on that. It's just a matter of who they make look bad. And maybe if the match gets competitive at the end, no one looks bad. But I'm excited for there to be X Division matches again. I know it sounds silly because we always have X Division matches, but this just feels like a true old school TNA X Division match.
Right.
3 guys, all talented, coming in and just wrestling and putting on a show. So I'm excited to see the match regardless of the outcome. I just know myself when I watch those matches where I'm scared for the outcome, where I'm just like I can't enjoy it as much. So it might be a second watching for me that I actually fully enjoy it or invest in it. But I'm excited to see what they do in the ring. Not really excited about the result. I guess that's
no. It's like, yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they do this match, because
it'll be very telling. Yeah.
I don't know who can really lose. Well, none of them can lose, but someone has to.
Right, someone has to. And I would say, if we had to put money on it, I'd say Rohit. But I just feel like maybe they're going to build to him breaking away from Bay. So if that's the case, him taking the pin, or intentionally taking the pin to prove his worth to Bay, that could work.
Yeah, maybe. I just want to see more from Rohit.
Same. At the time, I'm ready for it. Well, maybe this is the way to do it. Maybe he sacrifices himself intentionally, so he's not losing, in a traditional sense. He eats the pin, becomes friends with them, and then slowly, as he gets degraded by Bay, maybe over time, maybe Bound for Glory or something of that nature, he could step up and maybe build him. I'm interested, but once again, cautiously, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopeful.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Only time can tell now.
Right. Yeah.
And then we go on to tag team match between the Good Brothers and Ace and Madman Fulton. I've been excited about this one for a while.
Yeah, I mean, the first night of Emergence too. So you would only assume that these 2 nights will be treated as if they were 2 separate events. Same event, rather, pay-per-view, but separate dates. I believe Eddie's defending both times, so for that to be plausible, it has to be 2 different days. So the reason I bring that up, the Good Brothers are going to be on every show. Impact's going to get their money's worth. They're going to be on the show. So if they're on this show, what does that lead them to do next show? I think that's where it gets interesting. So if on this show they're facing Ace and Madman, I can't see them losing. It doesn't make sense to knock down that momentum. But at the same time, it doesn't make sense to bury, I won't say bury, but make Ace and Madman take a step back. So this is another instance where the booking is really comes out to play. Who wins, how they win, does anyone win? I could see maybe if it's an all-out brawl and they both get disqualified or something, there has to be something more to that. They're in on it or something. You know, I found it funny. I read an article with Gallows, I believe, and he had mentioned they asked him if he were to build a group within Impact, who would he form it with? And Ace and Madman were on that list, which I thought was interesting. So either he's giving something away or he's just fucking with us, which they tend to do, it seems.
Yeah.
But I just don't see a clean finish here. And if we do get one, I hope it's the Good Brothers, because Madman and Ace are still young. They're going to come out from it. And to keep this trajectory of the Good Brothers, they need a victory.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Good Brothers are probably going to win because they're still new to Impact.
Right.
But to stop Ace and Madman's momentum right now could, yeah, maybe not long-lasting damage, but it can certainly hurt them.
Yeah.
It,
Do you think it will? Do you think because Ace and Madman are the slimy heels that it really can't they still not lose momentum because of that? Like they could just play it off as, oh, you guys got us because, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think there's more on this than there is with the Rohit and Chris Bay thing. I think there's more to get around Good Brothers winning and Madman and Ace losing without them looking bad. But
I just think it all depends on the finish. If the Good Brothers pin Ace clean, could that do something? Maybe if they Bolton, I don't think it would hurt as much because obviously in the OVE he was a monster, but I can count on one hand the amount of times I've seen him win clean.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he's lost to Tommy Dreamer, Shamrock, Rhino. So he's I think we've had that on the podcast, a discussion of his lack of push and winning. So yeah, I don't think it hurts. I think that's obviously a great answer. I didn't think about that. Obviously, if Madman takes it, does it hurt as much? No, because it'll take a lot to knock him out. And then, it just makes the Good Brothers look good. Could we see the Rascals? If they're not on the card, try to get some revenge here. It's hard because how many matches you said? 5 in total?
5. Well, Eddie's defending, then it's 6.
Oh, 6 Eddie's defending. Okay. So 6 matches. It's a good amount of time in 2 hours or hour and 24 minutes. But I don't want to see any of those matches end in a DQ or 2 minutes later. So I don't want the Rascals come down, but it's a possibility that we have to mention, I guess, because of last week.
Agreed. And plus, if it's Doc who pins Madman, then no harm, no foul.
Right. Yep.
Then it's the TNA World Championship. Moose defending his title against Trey, but was supposed to be Suicide. Or Suicide was invited to the match.
Okay.
But Trey got the invitation. It's confusing.
Once again, I don't want to say it's going to be funky TNA style dusty finishes, but the whole Suicide Mask thing it feels like there's something more to that. EC3 maybe, being under the mask, but I just don't know how they pull that off. So I'm hoping for a one-on-one match. Moose, please keep the belt. But interesting matchup here. Interesting. And you would think if they put these two together, that they're looking for the possibility of a good match. I think Trey and Moose complement each other well in wrestling styles. Um, so if it goes the full length, I hope Moose just with the clean pin.
Mm.
But I'm going to put it past EC3 being there for some nefarious, nefarious help.
Yeah,
Hijinks.
it's like on the poster, which you can see down there. It is Trey on that poster, so maybe Suicide does come out, but it is EC3. But would EC3 do that? It's tough. I can't. Do you think could you see EC3 coming out dressed as Suicide, given his current character?
I mean, where's a hood? You know, the Suicide costume now feels like the Sunny of wrestling attire. Like everyone, everyone is wearing. So I wouldn't put it past anyone. I won't say any more innuendo. I'll just say, I'll just say yeah, maybe. I don't know. I get what you're saying because EC3 is so straight and serious and you know meticulous. But if he's meticulous, maybe that's an option he might exhaust. We'll see. I hope.
Yeah.
I think they would get a EC3 sighting in here somewhere, if it's promo or not. But it just makes too much sense for him to do something that I can't see it not happening.
Right. See, I'm kind of hoping that before the match or at the start of the show, we see Trey once again laid out, and then EC3 down. But I can't see him winning the TNA title on a TV special. They want the start to feel big again. You can't have him dropped on EC3 who wants to destroy it on a TV special.
Right. Well, I think that all falls back onto where we are with this pandemic and what's opening back up, and if EC3's contract is what we speculated on past shows. If it's something that's short and he's just waiting for this all to kind of, you know, clear out so he could go somewhere else, then maybe he does. I don't want to see it in this fashion where he's, oh, I won the title as I don't want to see that. I agree with you there. I don't see this being fulfilling to us, but if it's Trey versus Moose wins, we got to remember, yeah, this is a TV special or a special event. So maybe they treat it like a pay-per-view where it's matches and wrestling like they've done in the past, but you never know.
That's it. I mean, when EC3 first won the TNA World title, I watched it on TV. You didn't have to pay for pay-per-views over here at that point.
When did he won
it was on TV.
It was
on TV.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. Oh no. I think it beat Kurt Angle. I think that was on TV. And then again, when he lost it to Matt Hardy at Bound for Glory, obviously the TNA World title tournament, he won it back on TV.
Yeah.
So maybe, but who knows?
Who knows? It's taped, so no spoilers.
Exactly, it's the best part. So then move on to what has been billed as the main event, but I'm not sure if it will be. If Eddie is defending the title, I have no idea. But it's Machine Guns versus the North for the Impact World Tag Team Championships.
I think this falls back on the same thing for me with EC3 as I am with Shelley. If Shelley, even though he says he's a free agent on his all of his social media and stuff, and I think Saban's there for the long run, seeing as a producer as well. I don't know if Shelley's as tied to Impact as Shelley is, or as Saban is, excuse me. If he is, and he does have a contract to at least Bound for Glory, I don't see why the Machine Guns would lose here. If it's
No.
contractually, and I understand, but them losing just doesn't make sense because the North, for me, their first reign was very much us finding them out as a tag team, and them dominating the tag team scene or what was left of it, and building a new. Not taking away anything from their reign, but they need a good win and feud with Motor City, Good Brothers, all these bigger tag teams that are the Rascals eventually when they reach their pinnacle. They need to have these matches with those guys defending it before they could call themselves the best tag team in the world or in Impact history at least. So I don't want to see them just beat Motor City in the main event of Emergence Night 1. I'd rather, if it's going to happen, wait to Bound for Glory or something of that nature. I just don't want hot-shotted things just to. That's what scares me with this. I'll tell you that. With a lot of this is, I'm all for people going to different promotions. It just scares me when we don't know how long they're in ours.
Yeah.
I know we can sit back and enjoy it, but there's something about someone being an exclusive talent to your brand, and that comfortability of saying, like, oh, if they lose the titles, they're still going to be around. So for that purpose, I'm going to say I hope Motor City keeps it, and I'm hoping that the reason is they'll be around for quite a while.
Yeah, on the subject of Alex Shelley and his contract, I saw a tweet from him this morning responding to another fan who had pointed out that he's no longer in the bracket for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship tournament. But Shelley did say that part of his agreeing to sign with Impact was that he can go where he wants to go. And the reason he's not in the Pure tournament is because he's got too many patients, because I believe he's just in physio somewhere. Yeah. So, and again, I read it. I watched an interview with Chris Van Vliet with Chris Sabin, who pointed out about how they left last time. Shelley wanted to move on because of their contracts, and Sabin wanted that security because he'd just come back from an injury. Whether that's going to be the same case a few months down the line after you lose a title, because Sabin does want to stick around and be an agent. So,
right. That's a good
I agree.
Point. Yeah, it's a very good point.
Yeah, but I agree with the fact that North, the fact that they've lost the titles to the first major TNA well-established team, that stuck on me a little bit because, they beat the LAX, who were the most dominant team at that point.
Right.
But I agree.
I don't. For the changing of the guards. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just don't. I agree with you. I don't see the titles being hot-shotted like they were between LAX and OVE back in 2018, 2017.
Yeah.
But I can't necessarily see that.
No, I want to think bigger picture or better with this management team, and obviously we've been pleasantly surprised on a lot of what they've done in the past 3 years, including this. I would like to think that they also understand what we're saying, which is these guys did lose the first time they faced a very credible tag team. And that doesn't take anything again, away from anyone else, but a spade is a spade. The Motor City is the first established team that they really faced and lost to. Faced, period, and then also lost. So I think it does more for their characters to be the guys who everyone says, or they're saying, the North saying, we're the longest reigning, blah, 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 we're the best, da-da-da. But the faces and the fans are saying, well, you didn't beat anyone good. So we're diminishing their tag team legacy, and they would be fighting to prove us wrong. And I like that for the North because they're very egotistical characters.
I I'd be happy if the North won, but I can't see it.
Yeah.
Too
Good
early
match
now.
either way. You can get a good match either way.
Exactly. So now I heard them. I've been hearing that Eddie will be defending his title tonight, but I haven't seen a graphic, so I'm not entirely sure. Maybe he will, but I've definitely seen a graphic for next week.
Okay.
But if he does, who could you see him accepting?
From what I know, which is very little, he will be defending both nights. I don't want to spoil anything. But I think we're going to be shocked at who opens the challenge, who takes the open challenge. I'm going to go to say that I don't know which one, so I don't know which day, night 1 or night 2. I think he will defend against someone that is not currently on the roster.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to get anyone's hopes up or say what I think I know, but I'll say it's going to be very exciting for me, who's a fan. And the match will be awesome. It's just, I've hyped it up so much in my head that I hope it's not just Keith or somebody. Well, we'll see. It's not going to be a CM Punk. I'm not saying that. I'm not going on that train again, hype train. But I will say it'll be very interesting if it is who I think it is. And I mean, could it be Eric Young? Yeah, it could be Eric Young if it's someone on the roster. I don't think he has another match lined up, if I'm not mistaken.
That's my thinking.
So it's possible, like you said, that we get the Eric Young payoff early, so Eddie can then focus on whoever at Bound for Glory, or Eric can focus on Rich at Bound for Glory.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it at that as far as that, who I think it'll be. But I will say I do hope he defends on both, because once again, I think his title reign will be short. And October is approaching. I don't see Eddie walking away victorious at Bound for Glory. So he needs to get a couple victories, more victories under his belt to not diminish his title reign. So either way, I think he'll pick up victories on this episode and next if there's 2 open challenges. But I really hope that this open challenge is exciting.
Interesting. So yeah, my thinking it will be EY. I said on what went down previously.
Right.
That I can see it more being Rich and EY at Bound for Glory, and Eddie was whoever. But with your point of getting more victories under his belt before dropping the belt about for Glory, I feel like he has to face at least 2 former world champions, established and great world champions. It can't be EY was great, but his run came to end maybe sooner than it should have.
Oh, his previous
TNA was that run, and
I love Eric Young, but
it's same with Chris Sabin. Chris Sabin lost it in his first defense, so I'd like to see Sabin get a title shot again. But
Moose against Moose.
Battle for Glory, if it is Moose, it has to be a unification match.
Yeah. You said Moose for Battle for Glory. Yeah, I like that. I was just saying Sabin should get a rematch against Moose. That's what he should get.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, go to the TNA for the TNA belt. That's fair. Yeah, I agree with you as far as building his championship rank. He needs to beat some former champions. It's kind of hard when a lot of those guys are elsewhere, but I think Eddie beating anybody on an every week basis is credible to his character and his reign. So either way, like I said, I want him to win, but who do you think, besides, say Eric Young is next week, and this is a surprise that's not in the company? Who's your guess? Who would you say? I'm gonna drink water, like.
See, I truthfully haven't given it much thought because my thinking was that the one and only title match for the Impact will be next week, as the graphic suggests. But if hearing things that he may be defending it tonight, I honestly don't know. I'd love it to be like Kylie Ray. I'd love Kylie Ray to be world champion, but now obviously given
Number one,
time.
the mixed. Yeah, if I don't know if I should. Yeah, screw it. I will say that I think there's two people potentially that I feel could answer. I won't say the second one because that's ludicrous. But the first one, I think Davey Richards.
Oh, but
I'm not,
then we
I'm
lose
not
Ethan
saying
Page.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I know the Ethan Page thing, but let's be honest here. Business is business, and if Impact Management sees something that is worth it to them, they will make business happen. And if that means sitting them down and clearing the air or whatever they have to do to get it done, I feel like they'll do it. I mean, look at how they handled the Elgin and stuff situation. Smooth, probably the best of any company I feel like has handled that situation that everyone has dealt with. So I don't think that is the hurdle to jump over, especially if you got to figure. I mean, they have been mentioning Wolves versus or hinting or people making assumptions and Page responding to it against the Wolves North for quite a while. So I imagine if the ball or the seed was planted then, by now everything's squashed. I mean, we're talking about a hypothetical, so I'm not going to hype it up, but I would just say keep your eye out for something interesting happening. That's all I'm going to say.
A lot of little droplets of teasing there.
A little teasing.
Wait for tonight. Well, I wait for tomorrow night, but yeah.
Yeah, I won't tell you if I was right or wrong. Knowing my intel, I would assume that Eddie doesn't even defend it tonight. And I'm just totally. So we'll see.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to the most?
Good Brothers versus Ace and Fulton. Come on.
Just, it's funny you say that because for me, obviously with everything that we've just talked about, there's so many cool different things for different reasons. Huge Motor City and North fan. I'm a huge Eddie fan, and if Davey were to wrestle him, I'm a huge Davey fan. I've known them since ROH days, like before they were, good people. Well, always been kind, I'll say that. Eddie especially. But there's something about the Good Brothers push and story arc and where they're going that just gets me excited. Sometimes these things fade away. Someone comes to the company and, oh, yeah, it's this person, and gets some tweets and some excitement. And then, we call these people, the ones that do continue to build momentum, we call needle movers. And these guys are Kylie Ray was a needle mover. Now that I look back on it, maybe ever so slightly, but so there's those people that come in and kill it, that keep it going, and the Good Brothers are a set of those people. And I want to see, and I hope they get enough time, I want to see if the match is a 2-on-2 straight match, tag team match. I just want to see Machine Gun work. Anderson's, I love watching him wrestle, and things can be something very special if they give them enough time together in that ring. So I'm with you there. I'm excited to see what they do with the Good Brothers. I'm excited to watch them wrestle. But there's nothing on this show, finish aside, that I'm not excited about.
Right.
I'm intrigued by it.
Yeah. At first, when these specials first came about, I wasn't completely sold on them because it's just because they used to make the feel just like a TV show,
Right.
just a random weekly TV show.
That's
That
today's Schmack.
yeah, who cares? But
Yeah.
no, it feels very pay-per-view-ish.
It does, and I to this management because it was, I believe, last management that did those, that started those. Let's only do 4 pay-per-views. Let's do monthly or every other month events. And yeah, you got a live show, or you did, if it wasn't live, I don't know. And you got some in the matches, and it felt like a episode, like you're saying. But when you do it in 2 nights and you make it feel important and you do put your top matches on there, I think the 2-night thing that this management is doing makes it feel more important. Because you're not saying, oh, let's fit 9 friggin' blood feuds into 2 hours of TV. So giving it the time to breathe really does help it and does make it feel like the possibility of great matches or great stories being told can happen.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. With you on that.
Cool.
Great show. So that was the special What Went Down, aka What's Going Down, for Emergence Night 1 later on tonight on Access TV. I believe at 8/7 Central.
Twitch. Yes, 8/7 Central, so 8 Eastern time is when I'll be watching it. I'll be live tweeting with you guys. So if you see this beforehand and know that I'm live tweeting, say hello. I'll be paying more attention to the matches than normal as far as staying off Twitter, but I will get on there after each one as I try to do and say something. Also, obviously, if you haven't seen our last week's What Went Down or missed it because of Impact on Twitch, go see our review there. It's still on our YouTube channel. And yeah, well, we're doing another one for night 2 next week as well, right? Okay.
Yeah. So tune in for that. Thank you all for tuning to this one. And like Geoff said, go check out What Went Down from last week, and also episode 19 of the podcast, The Cool Factor, is also around there somewhere.
It's awesome.
Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you all on Thursday for What Went Down.